Hi lovelies, this is Kathy Tomato, or Katie, and by the title of this video, you can probably know that I indeed have been to Europe. Ignore my cat that just jumped on the bed. So I was invited to go on this Europe trip when I was a junior in high school. So it was about March or April back in 2017. And basically, the people who invited me on the trip are known as the Kentucky Ambassadors of Music. You know, some of you may know I do live in Kentucky. And the Kentucky Ambassadors of Music are, it's basically all the band directors in the state of Kentucky nominate some of their best students, both musically and academically, and the way they behave. And they nominate them to be put into this band that travels through Europe and performs. So I was nominated to go, and we went through all the meetings. There was a lot of stuff we had to do, and $6,000 later, and over a year later, that was in 2017, and I took the trip in 2018. I finally went. So we fast forward to the end of June. About the last week of June of 2018, I left my home and I traveled 3 hours to Louisville, Kentucky for a 1-week camp with the Kentucky Ambassadors of Music. We had 3 separate bands: the red band, the white band, and the blue band. They're all equal, but it's just so that not everyone's in one big band. We have separate bands. And I was in the white band. And every day we practiced for about 10 hours a day of just playing music. And it was very busy. Woke up early, went to bed really late. And at the end of the week, we performed our concert that we would be touring with to all of our parents and family. They all came to see us, and the next morning we left. All the ambassadors on this trip, including myself, came to a whopping total of 465 people. And on June 30th, 2018, we left the United States. We traveled, there were lots of different bus groups, because we had a lot of different flights that were going from where we were to London, England. My flight group we caught a bus in Louisville and we drove to Cincinnati, Ohio. We got a flight that took us from Cincinnati to Salt Lake City, Utah, where we sat in the airport for about 8 hours before making our long flight to London, England. By the time we got into London, it was July 1st, 2018, and the adventure began from there. We were in 7 different countries. We went to England, France, Switzerland, Italy, Austria, Liechtenstein, and Germany. And it was a fun trip. We were there for 2 weeks total. And we performed in 5 out of those 7 countries. We didn't perform in Liechtenstein, and we didn't perform in Italy. Those were just like quick trips for us. And I wrote in a journal every day. My friends and I wrote our journals in our hotels each night, which I have here. And so I'm going to read my little notes that I took every day for you. So when I opened it up, the cover page here, you may be able to see it says Kentucky Ambassadors of Music European Tour, June 30th, 2018 through July 15th, 2018. Captain Elizabeth McGlone, that's me. White band, second trombone. So it says, Day 1, June 30th, 2018. I wrote, yay, the trip is finally here. I exit Unitas Hall's room 614 for the last time at 2:30 a.m. and load the bus to travel to Cincinnati to fly to Salt Lake City, Utah for an 8-hour layover. My friends and I got some smash burger, where there were 2 Russian ladies who were really mean to us, but there was a sweet little lady who gave me my milkshake. Then we boarded our plane for London, and on the plane they fed us pasta, crackers, grapes, cheese, a salad, and a brownie for dinner as Saturday turned into Sunday. So that was day 1. Day 1 was a lot of airport sitting and just flying there, and it was crazy. I did get to sit next to my friend on the plane, So that was nice because it helped with the long flight. And I wrote day 2 was July 1st, 2018. I wrote, yay, we finally arrived in London. Going through customs took a while, but we finally boarded our coaches and drove to Kensington to see everything. I kept falling asleep, but everything is so beautiful here. It's very hot here, though. We spent a few hours in Windsor, where we saw and touched the castle, spent our first pounds, I bought a postcard, and then got some gelato. Then we checked into our hotels, where I shared a room with my 2 friends, Hannah and Olivia, and we ate an incredible dinner of baked chicken, green beans, carrots and broccoli, warm bread with butter, fries, or chips as they're called in London, salad, and chocolate cake. Then we ended our night with a walk through downtown Kensington, and we went through the Royal Park. We saw the Princess Diana Memorial and the Albert Memorial, which are both extremely meaningful and amazing to see. And then we got a good night's sleep in the hotel. So our first day in London was busy too. We started out in the airport, and going through customs took a long time, and it was hot. And with almost 500 people, it's nothing's done quickly, so it took a lot. And I wrote day 3, July 2nd, 2018. I wrote, Monday morning comes early at 7 o'clock in the morning as we start with an English breakfast done right, consisting of hot tea, cereal, baked beans, scrambled eggs, fried tomatoes, bread, and much more. It was very delicious. Then we soon depart because today is concert day. This is our first concert of the tour. So basically, every country we went to, we had a concert. We had to wear all of our concert attire, which I will post pictures at the end of this video of the different things we did and the things I saw and what we wore. But basically, for the girls, it was a white top, and then a black skirt with black flat shoes, and we all had to wear scarves around our necks that were any combination of red, white, blue, or black. So you'll get to see that in pictures later on. Like I said, we had lunch in the park, then performed for an audience of British natives who were cheering for us. Then we visited the beautiful St. Matthew's Church near our hotel for the orchestra and choir concerts, because on this trip, I am in band, I play the trombone, but we had band members, choir members, and orchestra members. So there were always 2 concerts usually. There was the band concert, and then orchestra and choir would go together. And then I wrote, then we had free time with our small groups where Mr. Whalen, who is my band director, he was my band director in high school, but he was also our adult leader for our small group. And so he took us to see the best sights. We shopped in a grocery store for the first time and had a picnic with the pigeons in the park. Then we traveled to get pictures with fountains and statues before watching the guards at Buckingham Palace and walking 3 miles to our hotel. A great first full day in London. I wrote, day 4 was July 3rd, 2018. I wrote, today was our last day in London, but it was the best one so far. We began with traditional British breakfast food early in the morning, followed by a fun-filled day with our London native tour guide, Norma. We went back to Buckingham Palace and watched the changing of the guards, then visited the Tower of London. Then we split into our small groups for free time. My group went to Westminster Abbey for evensong. Then afterwards, we finally went and had some fish and chips, because we'd been wanting to do that the whole trip, but we were so busy that we hadn't been able to yet. So our last day in London was also very busy, and we basically had to run in order to get to places on time. But we did make it. And then we took the 30-minute ride on the London Eye, the huge Ferris wheel over the water, before eating ice cream, looking at some shops, and taking our first British taxi back to our hotel. It was a great way to end our journey through London. And it definitely was. And I wrote day 5, which was July 4th, 2018. And I wrote, Happy 4th of July. Today was a travel day as we transitioned from London, England to Paris, France. We drove 2 hours, then boarded the ferry, which made me very sick, so my friend Connor gave me some Dramamine and we both napped. Then we drove another 2 hours and stopped for some lunch. And I wrote that I got my food, but I became a little scared because the cashiers only spoke French, and I took Spanish in high school, so I don't know any French or German or anything that we were speaking in these countries, and so it made it a little difficult. That was mine, because I wasn't used to it yet, because London kind of eased us into it, because they spoke English, and then when I got to France, I didn't know what to do with the cashiers. The lady said bonjour, which I repeated, but that was the only part of the conversation I truly understood. Then it was 2 more hours to Paris, where we had a nice dinner consisting of ham and cheese quiches, green beans, white rice, and turkey with gravy, and mushrooms, as well as apple pie for dessert. Afterwards, we checked into our hotel and relaxed for the rest of the evening. And I said, also, our bus was in a bit of an accident. Rest in peace, right tail light. So basically, the right tail light of our bus, we had 10 charter buses. We were all on like a different bus. I was on the blue bus. So we were known as the blue bus group. And we had our bus driver, his name was Hans, and he is from Austria. In the morning that we were loading the buses to leave our hotel in London, they were like near the entrance to like the part where you drive into our hotel. There were these little like black like things sticking up out of the street so you couldn't drive through. And Hans was moving the bus out of the way for other buses to get through, and these black poles had a little like metal piece sticking out the side of them, but it was hard to see. And I was standing right beside the bus when this happened, but he pulled forward, and when he did, that piece of metal sticking out got a hold of the right tail light, which was literally this close to me, and it tore the whole light off. It ripped it into pieces. And I looked at my friend who was standing beside me. We were both shocked that it just happened. So basically, he couldn't get it fixed until we got back to Austria, which where he lived, and so they just like taped it back on, and we were good. But that's what happened to our right tail light. Alright, then I wrote, day 6 is July 5th, 2018. I wrote, today was a busy day in Paris. We slept in a little, then had some breakfast. Mine consisted of scrambled eggs, ham, yogurt, and a croissant. Then we traveled to this beautiful church. We got some great photos in the back, and then we climbed the 300 plus steps to the top for a breathtaking view of the city. And I don't know how to pronounce the name of the church. I'll probably insert it here. I'll insert it right here so you all can read it yourselves. I don't know how to pronounce it, and I don't want to try because I don't want it to offend anybody, but I will enter it here. It's very beautiful. I have great pictures of it too, which will be at the end of the video. I said that we met up with our tour guide, who was a very funny and sweet elderly woman who grew up in the United States as a child and is now a French native. She showed us the city before we went to the Louvre, where we were able to see the real Mona Lisa. And that was amazing too. I also have pictures of that, and all the pictures will be, once again, at the end of the video. Then we went to dinner, where we were served a salad consisting of 1 piece of lettuce, shredded carrots, corn, cucumbers, tomato, and egg, chicken cordon bleu with fries, and chocolate mousse for dinner. Afterwards, we took a boat tour through the city, where I was able to take more amazing photos before returning to the hotel. And I wrote, day 7 was July 6th, 2018. I wrote, happy concert day. Here's our Paris concert. Today was our last day in Paris. We started the day by traveling to the Eiffel Tower. I was the only person from my small group who wanted to go, so I had to make friends in another group. And for me, that was really scary. I don't like to go places without people I know, especially in a place that I didn't know. And I wasn't going to go, but at the last minute, my friend knew that I wanted to go. And she told our adult that I had wanted to go. And so at the last minute, he took me and he said, if you want to go, you should go. And so he put me in another group, and I'm very happy that that happened because it was amazing. I ended up befriending a boy named Ethan and his mom, and the view from the top of the Eiffel Tower was beautiful. I'm so glad I went, even though my friends didn't want to. Then we visited Notre Dame, which was amazing, and I had my first true French crepe, consisting of Nutella and banana straight off the grill. It was delicious. While there, my friends Connor, Hannah, Olivia, and myself walked down by the water where we took pictures and sat and talked underneath one of the bridges. During this, my friend Connor tossed his water bottle at my friend Hannah, who smacked it, leaving it to fly into Olivia's face. She was okay, though. Then we left for dinner. The French food has all been so delicious, including escargot. It was definitely worth buying. We ended the day with our concerts in a beautiful chapel. Although it didn't have any air conditioning, we still had a great time, and France was amazing. Now off to Switzerland. I wrote Day 8, July 7th, 2018. Today was travel day. And travel day just means, we're going from one place to the next. We woke up early and drove basically all day, about 8 hours, to finally reach our hotel in Crans, Montana, Switzerland. Crans, Montana is very tiny, so tiny that the entire city uses the same Wi-Fi. However, it is very beautiful, and the people here are very welcoming. For dinner, we had salads, spaghetti, chicken and fries, and Swiss apple pie. A lot of food. The area is very peaceful, and I can't wait to have a great time here. Time to buy some Swiss chocolate. And I wrote, P.S. The trip is now halfway through. Crazy. Alright. Day 9, July 8th, 2018. Today was a really cool day. We had free time in the morning, so after grabbing some cereal for breakfast, my friends and I rode the cable cars to the top of the mountain for some relaxation, great pictures, and an amazing view of the city. And I have a lot of really good and funny photos from the top of the mountain, and so make sure to check those out when I add them at the end of the video, because you'll want to. Lunch was on our own today, so we stopped at a grocery store for some snacks. I went with a salami and mozzarella sandwich, a banana, pineapple, and orange smoothie, and a lemon tart for dessert. Very delicious. Then it was off to the castle of Chillon, which is about 800 years old. It was beautiful. Afterwards, we took the 45-minute walk along the lake to reach Montreux. Once there, we looked around at the vendors, ate some crepes, and enjoyed the jazz festival. Then we returned to the hotel for dinner. We had salad, pizza, beef, vegetables, and mashed potatoes, and ice cream for dessert. Then it was concert time, the best one we've had so far. Practically the entire town was there, and the performance didn't end until almost midnight. A great second night in Switzerland. I remember that this concert started a little later than our usual concerts, and our concerts are long. And so the whole town was there, and it was beautiful. And so we performed. The band always performed first. And then we were there so long that it was really late. And so they sent the band back to our hotels. And my hotel was right across from the place that we had to perform in. And so I remember when my friends and I were laying in our room that night, we opened the door to our balcony at the hotel so we could listen to the choir concert until midnight when it ended. And that was really fun to do. I wrote Day 10. The double digits of this trip. That was 7. July 9th, 2018. Today was our last day in Switzerland, and I put a little sad face. It was a great day, though. We got up early and traveled to Zermatt, where we rode 2 trains up the mountain to see the Matterhorn, which was beautiful. The first train broke down about halfway through and delayed us, but we still were able to make it. Then we did some shopping, and my friend Hannah and I tried our first Swiss McDonald's, which was so much better than the ones at home. Then we went to the grocery store to buy some food for lunch in Liechtenstein, because the next day we were going to Liechtenstein, but we were only stopping there to eat lunch, and so we had to bring our own food, and so, we weren't there very long. I wrote afterwards, it was time for the fondue party. Yes, our last day in Switzerland, the town threw us a fondue party, and they performed for us, and that was so cool. It was like a thank you for us coming there, and it was a really fun night. But the fondue was amazing. The music was great, and I danced and laughed more tonight than I have all year. And there's a video of me doing the chicken dance on the stage, and I'll be sure to include it, don't worry. Right? And then my friends... And then I wrote, my friend Connor had to go on stage and play the mountain horn, which is one of those long horns you see like in the Ricola commercials. I took pictures, don't worry. And I did the chicken dance. After the party, Mr. Wayland told us we could stay out until curfew, so we decided to go and play on the playground until one of the other teachers made us back to our hotel. Anyway, tonight was a lot of fun, and I'm very sad to say farewell to Switzerland. Off to Austria. Day 11. July 10th, 2018. Today was another travel day, as we said goodbye to Crans-Montana, Switzerland, and said hello to Seefeld, Austria. Stopping shortly for lunch in Liechtenstein. For lunch, my friends Connor, Hannah, Olivia, Zach, and myself put all of our groceries together from yesterday's shopping trip. We had, because this is a thing we would do was we would all go to the grocery store together, and like one person would buy bread, and one person would buy something else to go on, and one person would buy like drinks, and one person would buy like cookies or something. So that way we would get all together and have a meal, Made it nice, we weren't spending as much money. And that said, we had peanut butter and Nutella / jam sandwiches with peaches, apples, bananas, chips, and cookies. And then I wrote, our hotel here in Austria is for 4 people, so it's me, Olivia, Hannah, and this girl of our bus named Melissa. We had a great dinner of soup, salad, meatloaf with mashed potatoes, and ice cream with a wafer for dessert. Then we walked through the town a little before room check and bed. Here's to great times in Austria. Day 12, July 11th, 2018. Hello, Austria. Chilly morning as we left for Innsbruck. While in Innsbruck, we visited a beautiful basilica and visited the Olympic ski jump, where we got to watch people practicing the jumps. It was crazy. And I did get to video someone coming on the jumps, so I'll be sure to include that for you. Then we were able to look around on our own, so my friends and I grabbed some McDonald's for lunch. Then when we returned to Seefeld, we had free time, so my friends and I all went swimming. Then we performed our concert for a pretty big group of natives, and had broccoli and cheddar soup, salad, and turkey with penne pasta for dinner, and chocolate cake for dessert. Then we rested in our room, and it's off to Venice tomorrow. We had a one-day trip to Venice. 5 hours there, 5 hours back. Right. Day 13, July 12th, 2018. Today was Venice Day. Breakfast came early at 4:45, and the bus was leaving by 5:25. The drive to Venice was very long, about 5 hours, but Venice was very beautiful despite being super crowded. It was a great sightseeing day. We rode on a boat, visited St. Mark's Cathedral, and had real Italian pizza. However, the long drive put us home quite late, so one of the restaurants downtown was kind enough to remain open after hours to serve us bratwurst and fries, which were both delicious. Then we walked back to the hotel, off to Germany tomorrow. I wrote, Day 14, July 13, 2018. Happy Friday the 13th. Today was a travel day as we left Austria and headed towards our final destination, Germany. Today, we visited Dachau, the old concentration camp. Most of the area has been restored, but a few things remain untouched, such as the beds, bathrooms, crematorium, and gas chamber. It felt very eerie to be there. Then we had chicken and fries for lunch, drove to Rothenburg, checked into our hotel, and had meatloaf and fries for dinner with ice cream for dessert. It was sad because Germany was our last location. I read Day 15, July 14th, 2018. Today was the last day of our trip and our only full day in Germany. Breakfast came early, consisting of cereal and bread and jam. Then we had the morning to ourselves, so Hannah and I took the 20-minute walk into town and shopped at Katie's, one of the biggest Christmas stores in the world. Then we grabbed lunch at the gas station near our hotel, where I bought what I thought was milk, but was actually a vanilla drink that tasted a lot like Brussels sprouts. Then we gave our final concert in the town square, had spicy chicken and rice for dinner, as well as squash soup, then walked back into town for our goodbye celebration, where all 496 of us sang My Old Kentucky Home. It was a great ending to the trip. Day 16, July 15th, 2018. Today's the day when we all must go home. We loaded our luggage onto our bus at 3:30 a.m., had breakfast at 3:45, then left our hotel at 4:20, and drove 2 hours to the airport before taking our 10-hour flight back home. Goodbye, Europe. Thank you for the memories. So that's that. I went to Europe for 2 weeks. We performed concerts in countries for natives, and anybody wanted to come watch. And it was a really good experience. And it's like that. I went back in the summer, and it's now January 2019. But it's crazy to think that I was there. But I hope you enjoyed my stories of going to Europe. Be sure to stay tuned for extra photos and videos from my trip. Hasta luego.